This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call the caucus meeting of September 15th, 2020 to order. Present are council members Broussard, Williamson, Kelly, Heeman, Limpert, and Glassburn, the mayor, finance director, law director, the human resources director, I believe, and our planning and development director, and our guests this evening. First thing on tonight's agenda, there is one piece of legislation to be considered for suspension of the rules. It's on second reading, Resolution 2020-93, which was in the Environmental Committee. Councilwoman Heeman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, we had an environmental committee meeting last week to put 2020-93 back onto the agenda, so it will be on second reading technically, but we're moving it and asking, we voted for suspension so that had we not made the delay to obtain additional information, it would have passed this week anyway on its natural third reading. And so that we believe that this is in the best interest of the public safety, health, and welfare. And I think suspension for this evening is appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. And is there any objection to suspension? Seeing none. I know that our human resources director wanted to speak to council about amendments on some pieces of legislation. If you would like to go ahead, Director Gallo.
Thank you, Madam President. This is regarding Resolution 2020-95, which is on third reading this evening. There is an amendment to the contract. Actually, two of them. They were two oversights that the firefighters actually brought it to my attention when we were reviewing the contract. So section 18.1, which lists the hourly wages, the amendment that was made there was that the hourly rate was based on a 50.4 hour work week. So we amended that to reflect a 49-hour work week. And the other amendment is just the 49-hour work week creates a shift cycle it creates an 8-shift cycle for Kelly days. So in section 25.5, we also amended that based on the 49-hour work week. So in summary, there were two amendments that were made to reflect the work week reduction from 50.4 hours to 49 hours. And that's it. So.
Thank you. Any questions for the Human Resources Director regarding these amendments? Okay, seeing no questions, thank you. Moving on to legislation that's being introduced tonight on first reading and scheduling for committee meetings. On first reading, Ordinance 2020-101, Resolution 2020-102, and Ordinance 2020-103 will all go into finance. Resolution 2020-104, streets and transportation. Resolution 2020-105, recreation, public parks and buildings. Ordinance 2020-106, building, zoning, and development. And Ordinance 2020-107 into finance. And looking at scheduling committee meetings for next Tuesday, September 22nd. Councilwoman Williamson.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to schedule the committee meeting at 7 p.m. to discuss 2020-106 and 2020-107 78 and 79, please.
Thank you. And approximately how long do you think you'll need, Councilwoman?
I'm going to defer to Director Lieber on our sign code ordinance again, and then I believe that there may be some amendments forthcoming, so perhaps to stay on the safe side, at least 20 minutes. And then if we run over, we can adjust from there.
Thank you. And Councilman Brassard is Vice Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, so I apologize. I didn't hear, when will BZD be ending?
7:20.
Thank you.
7:20. Okay. So we will call a Finance Committee meeting at 7:20 to discuss 2020 101, 102, 103, and 107. And I believe we're probably going to need at least 20 minutes on those as well. So we'll say 7:40.
Thank you. Councilman Limpert.
Yeah. So is there, Mr. Mayor, who do you want attending to represent streets, concrete bids, et cetera? Who's your point of contact?
I'll do it.
Okay. So I'll have streets and transportation go upon the completion of finance, which I think you said was 7:40, and would ask that the mayor be present to address resolution 2020-104.
Thank you. About how long, Councilman?
I'm gonna shoot for 5 minutes. Mr. Mayor, you're not aware of any significant changes in concrete bids for this time around, are you?
Five minutes will be great.
Thank you. And Councilman Kelly.
I'd like to call the Recreation, Public Parks and Buildings Committee for 7:45 p.m. to discuss 2020-105. And Mayor, are you going to get that one too? Okay, and have the mayor there. Thank you.
Thank you. And I neglected to do this at the top of our meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to our caucus meeting minutes of September 1st? Seeing none, thank you. And Finance Director Kopfer, I did want to ask on behalf of council, if you could please give us an update on the CARES Act funding money during your report this evening. We would like to know, for example, is there any money left? The new money that came in, where is that going? Do you expect or anticipate any additional money that's coming down the pipeline? And if so, will the same rules that we've seen these last two cycles apply? Council would like this information so we can consider how to proceed moving forward with our potential streaming and community engagement efforts that we are putting forward. So we would appreciate that update.
Madam President?
Director.
I do believe that I think that the mayor and we had discussed that we were gonna ask for a meeting with council so we could update you on that. So I have the basic information for tonight, but I think it might be better in a meeting because then we can have some back and forth on it.
Madam President?
Mayor.
Yeah, if you could, maybe a committee of the whole 15-minute meeting on Tuesday so we could discuss everything that's related to CARES Act would be great.
Okay, great. I will then work with Chuck, make sure that we have that scheduled and let you know. But yeah, if you could also just give us the basics today too, that would be really great.
That's not a problem. Thanks.
Thank you for doing that. All right, council members, is there anything else for us this evening in caucus? All right, thank you. We will begin our regular meeting shortly.